Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with the Disability Policy for All. Today I have the great fortune to be talking to Meighen Speiser, who is the Executive Director of ecoAmerica. AUCD is very excited to have this partnership with ecoAmerica to help people with disabilities learn about and advocate for our climate. Before we get started, I will visually describe myself, and then Meighen, you can do the same for our audience. I'm a short white woman with a blue and black flowery blouse. So Meighen, can you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Liz. It's great to be here. I'm Meighen Speiser, and I am a medium height white woman with dark hair and green eyes, and I'm wearing a gray sweater with a scarf.
Thanks, Meighen. My first question is, what is climate change?
Well, climate is the average weather for an area where we live, and climate change is any change in that weather that lasts for a long period of time, like warming temperature. So climate change is like our Earth having a fever. People burn fuel like oil, coal, and gas to provide power and heat for our homes and our cars and businesses. And burning oil, coal, and gas becomes pollution in the sky. And that pollution is like we are wrapping a giant blanket around the Earth and making it too hot. And when our Earth is too hot, bad things happen. We get more heat waves, floods, fires, bad storms. And these things can hurt people and make us sick, especially if we are people who are living with an illness or a disability.
Can you help the audience understand what is ecoAmerica?
ecoAmerica helps people talk about and help to stop climate change. We partner and support health organizations like the Association of University Centers on Disabilities, AUCD. We also partner and support cities and states and faith groups like the Episcopal Church. And we do this because 75% of Americans are concerned about climate change, but only 14% of us think that others around us are very concerned. So that's a big difference. We can all do something to stop climate change every day, and we can do so in ways that are accessible and make our lives better.
Thank you. Has there been any studies done on the connection between climate change and COVID-19?
I think that there are many studies that are happening on the connection between climate change and COVID-19. Both COVID-19 and climate change show us that injustices in our society. So people who with poor health and low wealth get COVID first, and they get sick worse. And this is the same with climate change. People who are already ill and might not have so much money, and people also living with disabilities are often hurt first and worse by climate change.
Okay, thanks. I think you have talked about this, but maybe not. Maybe you can expand on this. How has climate change affected people with disabilities than people without disabilities?
It's because climate change causes more extreme weather, like heat waves. So people with disabilities are twice as likely to be unemployed than those without disabilities, and people with limited incomes may not be able to afford air conditioning in their home during a heat wave, and this increases their risk of heat stroke. Climate change also causes stronger and more frequent natural disasters. So people with disabilities often receive emergency information about a disaster too late. or people with hearing loss, low vision, or reduced mental capacity might have a reduced ability to receive or act on emergency instructions for natural disasters. So they get the information too late and they might not be able to understand it.
Okay, thanks. What does climate justice and how is it related to disability justice?
Great question. Climate justice is a term that recognizes that climate change impacts some people more than others, which is not fair, as we've discussed. Climate justice also means we need to stop climate change in ways that include and support the people most affected. So climate justice calls for fair and inclusive decision-making in preparation for climate change and stopping climate change.
Why is a partnership important with ecoAmerica, and how can our network, our AUCD network, work better with ecoAmerica in the future?
We are excited to partner together to help your network to talk about climate change, to prepare for the impacts of climate change, and to help stop climate change. And ecoAmerica and AUCD are working together to create training and resources and events for the network. And so we will offer training on how to talk about climate change and how to ask elected officials to stop climate change with solutions and to protect people with these big storms. We will offer handouts that you can read and share with others, give you information on what you can do to help stop climate change in your home and your community. And we will offer events to learn more about climate change solutions and to meet other people who want to help stop climate change as well.
Okay, thanks. And have a wonderful day. And thank you for explaining climate change and very excited about our partnership. Thanks. And
Thank you.
Thank you, Meighen, and have a great day. Bye.
You too, Liz. Bye-bye.